The Falaise Pocket, the decisive clash of industrial might and human will in Normandy, August 1944. In the sweltering summer of 1944, the fields and hedgerows of Normandy became the stage for one of World War II's most brutal and transformative battles, the Falaise Pocket. This encirclement, lasting from August 12th to 21st, marked the culmination of the Normandy campaign and exposed the stark contrast between Allied industrial supremacy and the fading strength of the German Wehrmacht. What began as a desperate German retreat evolved into a cauldron of destruction, where precision artillery, overwhelming logistics, and air dominance crushed an entire army group. To understand the Falaise Pocket, we must trace its roots back to the Allied landings on June 6, 1944, D-Day. Operation Overlord saw American, British, Canadian and other Allied forces storm 5 beaches along a 50-mile stretch of Normandy coast. Despite fierce resistance, especially at Omaha Beach, the Allies established a foothold. Over the following weeks, they expanded their beachhead amid intense fighting in the bocage country, dense hedgerows that favoured defenders. The breakthrough came with Operation Cobra on July 25th, when US forces under General Omar Bradley smashed through German lines west of St. Lo. Lieutenant General George S. Patton's Third Army poured through the gap, swinging south and east. Meanwhile, British and Canadian forces under General Bernard Montgomery pressed from the east around Caen. By early August, German Army Group B, comprising the 7th Army under SS Oberstgruppenführer Paul Hausser and the 5th Panzer Army under General Sepp Dietrich, faced encirclement. Paul Hausser, born in 1880, was a career officer from a Prussian military family. He served in World War I, rising through the ranks in the interwar Reichswehr before joining the SS in 1934. Instrumental in building the Waffen-SS into a formidable force, Hausser earned the nickname Papa for his paternal leadership style. He commanded elite units on the Eastern Front, losing an eye near Moscow in 1941. By 1944, at age 63, he led the 7th Army in Normandy, a mix of veteran panzer divisions and depleted infantry. Hitler's disastrous order for a counterattack at Mortain, Operation Lüttich, in early August sealed the Germans' fate. Intended to cut off Patton's advance, it failed spectacularly, exposing the German flank. Allied intelligence, aided by ultra-decrypts, anticipated the move. As Patton's forces raced north toward Argentan and Canadians south toward Falaise, the pocket formed. By mid-August, over 100,000 German troops were trapped in a shrinking area around Falaise, Chambois and Trun. Hausser received Hitler's insane directive, hold and counterattack. But maps showed doom. Allied pincers closing from north, Canadians and Poles, south, Americans, and east, Polish 1st Armoured Division blocking escapes. On August 16th-17th, Field Marshal Walter Model authorized retreat. Hausser ordered breakout attempts, prioritizing armoured units. Chaos ensued in rain-soaked roads clogged with tanks, trucks, horse-drawn wagons and troops. The Wehrmacht in 1944 was a hybrid, cutting-edge tigers alongside 19th century logistics, with thousands of horses vulnerable to air attack. Major Hans von Luck of the 21st Panzer Division exemplified German tenacity. His Kampfgruppe held open escape corridors, shouting orders amid gridlock to separate tanks from horses. Von Luck, a veteran of Africa and Normandy, drove his Kübelwagen along columns, urging movement, keep going or we die. Allied fighter bombers, Jabos, ruled the skies, strafing columns. Troops froze at engine sounds, diving into ditches. The air reeked of fear, sweat, oil, and manure. Miles away in US Fire Direction Centers, FDCs, calm prevailed. American artillery represented industrialized warfare, centralized control, precise calculation, abundant ammunition. The revolution was time on target, too. Traditional barrages allowed enemies to shelter after initial shells. TOT staggered firing from batteries at different ranges so shells arrived simultaneously, no warning. In an FDC tent, officers used slide rules and charts to compute flight times, adjusting for distance, wind, temperature, and charge. Watches synchronized via radio signals ensured precision. Logistics enabled this, the Red Ball Express, a truck convoy system peaking at 6,000 vehicles delivering approximately 12,500 tons daily. Mostly, African-American drivers braved roads to supply fronts. Supersonic shells arrived without whistle, creating overpressure waves. Though VT proximity fuses came later, Battle of the Bulge, standard TOT was devastating. Roads became corridors of death. Wrecked vehicles, bloated horses, fallen soldiers. On August 20th, shrapnel wounded Hausser severely in the jaw during breakout. Evacuated, he survived. His army did not. By August 21st, the pocket closed. German losses, 10,000 to 15,000 killed, 40,000 to 50,000 captured, approximately 500 tanks, thousands of vehicles destroyed or abandoned. General Eisenhower toured afterward. It was literally possible to walk for hundreds of yards, stepping on nothing but dead and decaying flesh. The Falaise Pocket was no mere battle, it was industrial execution. Allied systems overwhelmed German courage. Courage became a variable in physics equations, with value 0 against American math, logistics, and firepower.